Hello everybody, you're very welcome to my channel. I'm really excited to be doing this. This is my first video, so I'm excited, I'm nervous, but most of all, I want to be doing this and sharing this content with yourselves. And because this is the beginning, I wanted to really start with the beginnings. Now, new beginnings are challenging, new beginnings are awkward, new beginnings bring uncertainty, but I'm very excited about this and I know that we will figure it out together. So I wanted to start this session with who are you? Or even better, who am I? Now, my name is Asa. I'm the founder of Clear Minds and Self Healing. And in this forum, we're going to be sharing a lot of content around humanity, people, individuals, relationships, struggles, trauma, abuse, health, setting goals, achieving them, shifting mindsets. In fact, everything social sciences and human beings related. So I wanted to start this one with the question, who are you? It sounds like a very simple question, but most often we don't stop to reflect about these things. Most often we just live life. We do things, we carry on, we endure, we survive, we plan, we achieve. And we don't go back to reflect on how well we did or how badly we did or how we struggled through some of those things. And I feel that we will find strength or clarity from those reflections and those clarifications. Hence the title, Clear Minds. Clear minds with the purpose of going forward in life with clarity towards self-healing or towards the next step. Not everyone is going to be approaching life from a point of brokenness or healing, but where are you at now, and where do you want to be? Where could you be in the future? What else could you be doing? How much better could you be doing? So who are you? Now, that question is not about naming yourself, naming your profession, or all those other trivial things that we define ourselves. Who are you, in my opinion, embodies your mindset, your thought, your feeling, your values, those that you put on yourself and those that you think others put on you. Because sometimes we don't only think what we think what we think others think, and then we act on them or we fail to act on them. So we will be breaking down who are you into three parts. Who are you per your definition or your feelings? Who are you in terms of how you think others view you and relate with you? And who are you in terms of external relationships and how those are working out, or external goals and plans and dreams? Okay, so starting from the starting point, which is you, I think that embodies who you are as an individual per your perception. Who are you? Okay, are you the go-getter? Are you a nurturer? Are you an accommodating or tolerant person? Are you the one who challenges yourself, who is very critical about yourself, your self-esteem, your sense of self-worth? Who are you? Because when we start thinking about those things, we are getting clarity around who we are now, and then where we are now, and where we could potentially be or where we want to be. Who are you is about your mindset, your individuality. What you're thinking comes from somewhere. Was it your upbringing? Was it the secure attachments that you got from that upbringing? Was it the lack of secure attachments, which has embedded insecurities and the lack of confidence? Who are you comes from your experiences. How people have treated you, betrayal, anger, shame. Who are you comes from the nurturing that you've gotten, which has also instilled those skills in you. Are you mindful of those accomplishments? Do you stop to think about those? Or do we just live life and let be? Because I think sometimes the way we come across to others in our external relationships, the way we treat them, the way we let them treat us, is all stemming from how we define ourselves, the worth we give to ourselves. and the values we define ourselves by. That is what comes across when we then go to the other external aspects of relationships. Okay, if you're confident and secure, you can either come across that way or slightly arrogant, dismissing everyone else's point of view, minimizing their views and their boundaries, imposing yours on everyone else, or you will be tolerant and calm and reserved and listening with clarity. Your responses, your relationships, it all stems from your definitions of yourself or your feeling of your own self-worth. Now, when we start looking at the social relationship aspect, who have you surrounded yourself with? And this is not a criticism, whether they're positive or negative. Like some of us, our upbringings and our social circumstances have placed us with the people that we live with, and that's fine. But the questions about who are you, they're calling on you to reflect on that question with the intention of asking yourself, what value do those people in those relationships give you? Because if you've grown up with these people and you've grown up, whether they're siblings or social relationships or employment relationships, if you've grown up with them to this stage, the question I want to ask you when you're asking yourself, who are you, is who are you in those relationships? When, if you've gone from childhood to 30 with the same friends, are you stable or are you static? Okay. And again, no criticism, because the value of your friendships is defined by the value of your goals. So most often when people say to us that you've changed, it annoys us and it irritates us because they see us as different people. But actually, I think that's a compliment, because if you've gone through life from 0 to 30 without changing, your adolescence, your adulthood, your employments, your thoughts, your feelings, your values, your goals, they should change. So no apologies when people tell you that you've changed. That should be a compliment, depending however condescending they sound when they say those things. You should want to change. And if you still have those relationships, then it means that the mindset for change is not there. Not for you and not for them, because in relationships, you should be challenging each other. Think about this. If you have drinking friends that you've grown up drinking together and you decide to change that habit, but you keep the same friends, you're going to struggle, even if they don't impose on you, even if they drink their drink without inviting you. You're watching them drink. That's tempting. That's going to pull you in. And secondly, they're not going to challenge you to be better in your resolve to stop drinking, because they don't care about that resolution. It doesn't matter to them. So you're going to have to motivate yourself within that circle that you've placed yourself in. And so you're also going to pick up their pieces when they struggle, because they're your friends and you love them. You're barely hanging in your own resolution for change. So by sitting in the same circumstances and wanting different things, you're setting yourself up to fail, because you are struggling to motivate yourself. You're struggling to get motivation from others. You're struggling to support the other people, and you're struggling with the lack of support for yourself. But if you align yourself with people who are already achieving those things, and then you have a path to follow, they have lessons to teach you. And I think what they say about this is, you cannot milk a cow and get orange juice. And this is, again, no criticism to the friendships. All friends are valuable, but your goals start to fail to align with a certain group of people at a certain time. This goes for employment and every other circumstance. Like sometimes you need to shift employment just for your mindset, just for your well-being. You need to shift your role. And even if you're not physically doing that, you can mentally take in new knowledge to move to that next step of your life. And so who are you is asking you those questions about your definitions of yourself. How far have those definitions come? The goals you set for yourself, how true and real those goals are looking and coming, and the people you surround yourself with, and how relevant they are to you achieving those goals or those dreams, or bringing yourself out of those situations that you find traumatic or difficult. That's who you are. Okay. Can you then be looking at other positive relationships? Can you be improving those that you've contributed in breaking down? It doesn't mean that you should isolate yourself or take your individuality into a perfect situation, because if you don't identify, recognize, clarify, and heal or address the things that you see as inadequate or not positive or not enough, and then the other side of things will never happen. You have to think of the dream, visualize it, put it into action, implement it consistently to get to it. So if you're not visualizing it with clarity, you will not motivate yourself enough to put the action that's needed to get to the end of that dream. So who are you? What are your thoughts? What are your feelings? What are your dreams? What are your friendships? And what are you doing to get to that end goal? What are your platforms? What is your accountability? Who is your accountability buddy? Your social platforms, your employment platforms. What are you doing to yourself? What seeds are you planting? What tools are you using to nurture that growing path for yourself from that one level to the next? That's the starting point for yourself. You cannot build a foundation on marshy grounds, and even more so, you cannot build a house on a broken foundation. So that is all you, and this is why we are starting with you. Understanding yourself means lighting that fire within yourself, which bears the dreams that you want to bear. And this is going to be different for everybody. And this is why social sciences is a broad topic, because everyone is looking for something from somewhere or from someone. What is that thing for you? Where are you today? What does that place mean for you? Where would you want to be tomorrow? And what are the skills or strategies or tools that you need to get to that point? This is what Clear Minds and Self-Healing embodies. And this is the starting point of the conversation for all of us. Now, we are going to figure this out together, including myself. This is a starting point for me to a different direction from where I was yesterday. And I'm not running away from anything, but I definitely have a place where I want to be. And as I walk on this journey, scary one, learning and growing, I'm challenging you to do the same thing. Figure that out. Ask that who are you question. Look yourself in the mirror and answer that question honestly. Do not lie about it, because sometimes we're scared to discover the difficult or the ugly or the challenging. But for me, and from the perspective where this company is coming from, identification and clear-mindedness is a position of strength. Even if what you see scares you, the knowledge and the understanding and the awareness of who you are is a solid starting point to address and to heal and to empower. So who are you? Think about that and join me really, really soon for the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.